Goku Black vs Reverse Flash is here, and for the first time since Heihachi vs Geese, I actually got to watch it with friends without them having to wait an extra few hours for me to get home. But before I go into my thoughts on that episode, this is usually the part where I'd cover the other directly related episodes to this one, because this is the Legacy season, and it only feels right to use it as an opportunity to look back on episodes from over the years. That said, I was initially planning on doing this episode on its own because working on my remastered season rankings has made it so that I've more or less put all my thoughts on the episodes into those. But Nem's still doing his format, and in the interest of, I guess, being a team player, I'll be doing the same as him, reviewing all the other Dragon Ball episodes. Except this time it'll be slightly different. He's covering the 3 episodes he hasn't talked about before in depth. I'm just going to go rapid fire over all of them, even if I've talked about them before. Don't worry, we won't be here long. Vegeta vs Shadow. While it has all of Season 1's visual flaws, it has some fast-paced and fun action with some fantastic voice acting, and the comedic tone helps it stand out compared to most other episodes, 7 out of 10. Goku vs Superman. Without a doubt the best season finale the show ever did. It pushed the boundaries for what a Death Battle episode could do, and delivers in breathtakingly fast action, fun character moments, and has standout scenes in spades, 10 out of 10. Kirby vs Boo, the best of Season 2's controversial quartet. Analysis could be better, but it's solid enough. Fight starts good, but when Kid Buu comes out he takes it to the next level. If only the deaths didn't suck, but oh well, 8 out of 10. Goku vs Superman 2. The first episode pulled out all the stops, but the sequel comparatively feels like it's doing the bare minimum. It's a step down in every way except for the visuals and the VA's mic quality. It has some amazing stuff here and there, but as a whole I'd only call this episode decent, 6 out of 10. Hercule vs Dan. I mean this completely unironically when I say this is my favourite gag episode and possibly my favourite sprite death battle of all time. It turns what would be flaws for other episodes like weak feeling attacks or characters being disrespected into its greatest strengths. The animation's well done, the death's amazing, and above all else it's so fucking funny. It's no Goku vs Superman by any means, but I'd still give it the same score of a 10 out of 10. Android 18 vs Captain Marvel. This episode also exists. Analysis is lame, fight starts really well but gets worse as it goes along, 5 out of 10. Roshi vs Jiraiya. Most unique in tone compared to other Dragon Ball episodes, Hercule vs Dan notwithstanding. The greater focus on techniques and strategy to make this feel more like an old school Dragon Ball or Naruto fight, as opposed to the blinding speeds and brute force of modern ones is appreciated, 7 out of 10. Beerus vs Galaxia leaps and bounds ahead of most of the rest of its season. While they could have gone further with the destructive scale, this is still an amazing episode with great banter, fun action, and one of my favourite lines of the season. I'm glad Beerus got an episode as good as this one, 9 out of 10. Hulk vs Broly, a flawed episode for sure in regards to its sound design and characterization, but this episode has spectacle the likes of which the show rarely ever sees. The reality-shattering headbutts at the end are a pure adrenaline rush. The shot of the galaxy being destroyed is stunning, and I live for these two using each other's catchphrases, 8 out of 10. So that's a mostly solid lineup of episodes. The worst one is still okay, and the rest range from pretty good to some of the show's best. Not a single bad episode to be found. How does Goku Black vs Reverse Flash compare? Well, much like last episode, the first preview worried me. Goku Black's analysis starts out with some of the most awkwardly paced back and forth between versus shit and story I have ever seen in a competent versus show. I thought it was bad that Steven had this calc dropped before his own damn name, but Goku Black's preview has this entire tangent about the universe shockwaves and the size of the Dragon Ball universe before he's even name dropped. Coupled with the genuinely awful jokes like Boomstick burping and farting at the same time, the only thing that saved this for me was the editing. But then Reverse Flash's preview was actually pretty good, barring the shitty Flash Gordon thing at the start. And the animation preview on the cast was great. Very much following the same pattern as Batman vs Iron Man, huh? Is this another case of a disappointing yet still enjoyable episode? Well, let's see. Goku Black's analysis cuts the Super Saiyan Karen joke short, which I appreciated. They could have cut it completely, but beggars can't be choosers. I also appreciate them fixing the footage over when they mention the Universe 6 tournament to actually include footage from the Universe 6 tournament. That was a small thing that bothered me. The jokes got better all throughout both characters' rundowns. I like the cutaways where instead of slapstick they have Wiz and Boomstick both struggling to comprehend time travel bullshit, especially the second one where Boomstick has an existential crisis. And as per usual with this season's comic book episodes, the editing is fantastic. Nick did a great job as always, and now I have to be constantly checking if these edits are even him because I was so used to him being the only one who did this style of editing that I didn't even think to check if he was the one behind Batman vs Iron Man, which he wasn't. That was Gerardo, who did an equally amazing job there. I still do have a few issues with the analysis outside of the awful preview for Goku Black, but there's nothing too major. They bring up Merge Zamasu and Infinite Zamasu, which made me thankful they didn't use him in the fight, but it also left me a little confused about whether or not he was included in the research, because they bring up him beating Vegito when merging with the timeline, two things I am sure he cannot do on his own. And on Thon's side, they go from universal scale destruction to holy shit, a White Dwarf star level punch. Which would be like if Iron Man's analysis brought up the Manhattan-sized rock thing after the cosmic scale Godbuster feats. But overall, very fun analysis. I laughed at a good few of the jokes, the conclusion was well put together, editing was stellar, the cutaways were used for stuff other than slapstick. I had a great time with it. Oh, and this last bit isn't necessarily something that impacts my enjoyment of the episode, but me and my friends were losing our shit at all the super highly detailed faces in the comic panels. Thank God I wasn't there for Batman vs Iron Man, because I do not think I would have been able to keep it together at all any of the time Robert Downey Jr. or Don Cheadle were on screen. They have both been ruined for me. So, the fight was also good. This had probably my favourite animation preview of the season. I was a little disappointed that they had the "It was me" Barry line at the start instead of working it into the battle, but that's more than made up for later in the fight. Goku Black shows up in a cool looking tornado, starts killing people, and Reverse Flash initiates the fight. I saw a few people confused at the preview as to why Thon went after him instead of just letting things play out, but I don't see why Thon would just sit there and wait for Zamasu to go after him once the rest of the civilians in the area had died. So he's either doing it in self-defense or because he woke up and chose violence, either of which are believable for him. I like that his first attack isn't even aimed at Goku Black. He goes out of his way to punch the teacup out of his hand. And that starts what I probably consider this fight's greatest strength, Reverse Flash's characterization. I knew nothing about him at first, but Nem showed me some comic panels about how much of a petty asshole Thon is, and I ended up finding him so entertaining that I was now rooting for the DC Herald to win. What has this season done to me, first making me excited for a Sonic fight and now this? Anyway, this fight gets across Thon's personality so well. He's got a shit-eating grin, he goes out of his way to be an asshole whenever he can, there's that one bit at the end. Thon steals the show here. Everything he does is elevated by Valentine Stokes' phenomenal voice performance. You might remember them as Ace's voice actor back in season 4, or what they're most iconically known for, the "It was me Barry" meme, where he makes it seem like Barry thought about Ryu Street Fighter at just a woman's touch. So this was more or less the perfect casting choice. I don't want to sell Michael Kovac's performance as Goku Black short either, because while they're playing a character I find inherently less entertaining than Thon, they still did a great job. Shout out in particular to the best delivery of the Kamehameha scream we've had since season 1, and one of the absolute best death screams we have ever gotten. Oh boy, we will get there. So back to what's actually happening in the fight. Goku Black starts out with an honestly kinda slow barrage of ki blasts, and then starts missing constantly when Thon is standing perfectly still for a bit. That is my least favourite part of the fight. Not even that it's that bad of a scene, the rest of the animation is just that good. What follows it was my favourite bit of the preview. I love Stokes' delivery of Thon's line as he runs forward using Wiz Death Battle as a human shield. This battle outside of that one shot already has a good sense of speed, and we are only getting started. This next shot has Zamasu moving forward as he shoots more ki blasts, and Thon's moving out of the way this time so he has an excuse to not be hitting him. We get another great moment for Thon to show how much of a cuckster munch he is, as Goku Black tells him to stand still, so he does exactly that and phases through his attack instead of dodging it. Zamasu gets to use strategy to land his first hit on Thon, and as soon as he does, he presses his advantage and transforms. He gets an in-character line, and the transformation into Super Saiyan Rose is visually pretty cool, even if it's not the most impactful transformation of the season. It didn't need to be though, it just needed to show Goku Black being a self-absorbed asshole, and it does that beautifully. Plus it gets to show off some more of this fight's stellar expression work. This might be the best of the season's sprite fights in that regard. Shadow vs Ryuko, Heihachi vs Geese, Po vs Iron Fist, and even Steven vs Star all had at least one or two shots where the eyes or mouths don't look right to me. The closest this one has is at the start with a more detailed mouth, but it doesn't look too jarring to me. Lex vs Doom is also free of expression work I thought looked off at parts, but Thon and Zamasu being more expressive generally means that they're going to stand out more compared to the usually calm and composed Lex, and especially next to the guy wearing a mask. The next scene has Goku Black launching Reverse Flash to the moon, and it's incredible. The 3D backgrounds, the sense of scale, I love it. It does make it seem a little less impactful when Thon lands back on Earth and only creates a small crater, but I am really getting into nitpicking territory there. This is where the fight starts to pick up more and more. Thon and Zamasu both try to go back through time, and we get no quirky line about it. Thank you. This hand-drawn Reverse Flash doesn't look like it's moving all that fast, but that doesn't bother me too much. It's still well drawn regardless. Again, these issues are all fairly minor in the grand scheme of how good this fight is. Both go back in time to kill the other, but they're both protected from paradoxes, so it accomplishes nothing. This gets Zamasu to bring out his clones, they fight Thawne for a bit, and then he heads to kill Goku Black in another point in time, which gets Goku Black to do the same to him. And they both go over and over. We even get Thawne moving the statue in place to kill Quicksilver and ruin Barry's reputation. This scene is chaos incarnate. I could rewatch it over and over. And the attention to detail in this animation has made it so that whenever I rewatch the fight, I'll notice something I didn't before, which is especially prominent in this part of the fight. Goku Black's clones having slightly different coloured hair, his gi flapping as he flies forward in some shots, the fact that he can't actually travel back in time without following someone else through the time stream, so Reverse Flash has to be the one to initiate it every time, the "It was me" line in the track playing over Quicksilver getting stabbed. There was so much care and love put into this animation. This season has had a lot of stuff like that, smaller bits of attention to detail that can make me respect an episode way more. So back to the ending of the fight. They stop their time travel shenanigans and land in this ruined city, not before we get a cool line from Thawne as a retort to Zamasu's gloating though. Thawne steals the time ring and we get a funny shot of his smug shit-eating grin, which I love, but also as soon as I saw it I fucking knew it was going to get memed to the point where I would be sick of it. I just didn't expect it to happen so fast. The episode came out at 6 PM on Sunday for me, which is when me and my friends watched it together. I figured it'd at least stay funny until it went public on Monday, but nope. Didn't even last until I went to sleep that night. Already I see it as a bunch of people's profile pictures and there's already renders of it. God fucking damn it. Well, at least the kill was good. Thawne phases his arm through Goku Black's chest, drags him all the way around the planet over and over, scraping his flesh and skin off, and this is what's left of him. Then he does the signature flash spinning time, throws him into the fucking sun, and detonates the fucking thing. Good God. Everything about this kill, from the animation to the gore to the amazing scream to the insane amount of impact it has. Thawne's wind up here has more impact than a lot of episodes have in their entirety. The sound design is so good, and that's not even taking into account the goddamn supernova. In the Discord watchwire for this episode, this left most of us in stunned silence, and the remaining few just kept repeating "oh my god," and that was insane. Holy shit, I love this episode so fucking much. Is it my favourite of the season? No, nothing else this season's put out has even come close to Yoda vs Mickey for me yet. But do I like it more than Poe vs Iron Fists? Probably not. That episode means a lot more to me. I prefer Poe over both Goku Black and Reverse Flash by an insane degree. I prefer the analysis there, and I found the fight funnier. The gap isn't that wide though, and the fact that I even had to stop for a minute to think about which one I preferred should say a lot about how much I enjoyed this fight. While I don't prefer it to my top 2 of the season overall, I think it more than surpasses them in terms of the speed and intensity of the action, partly thanks to Reverse Rosé being an amazing backing track. That's not a jab at Yoda vs Mickey or Poe vs Iron Fist though. They excel in much different areas and clearly weren't going for the same tone or pace that this fight was. I'd give this episode a 9 out of 10, it's so good. Heihachi vs Geese was my third favourite of the season before, but I don't think it's even in the same ballpark as this episode. The fight has a few small issues here and there like I mentioned before, but absolutely none of it took me out of the fight outside of that one bit at the start that I mentioned. When one of my biggest issues with the fight is that they sometimes switch from the good Goku Black sprites to the ones that I don't like, that should speak volumes. If Goku Black's analysis didn't start so poorly, I might have given this a 10, who knows. I'm not complaining that it didn't reach that level for me though, cause it's already insanely good. Episodes this good tend to only come around a few times per season. As of writing this, I've seen the episode 3 times all the way through already, plus the animation another half dozen or so times on its own. And I'm not even close to sick of it yet. I am sick of the Reverse Flash profile picture shot though. Please do not turn this into the next time and run it into the ground. Ironic coming from me of all people. There is no but at the end of that sentence. So, where do I even begin with this next time? Macho Man vs Kool Aid Man has me both excited and worried. The hand-drawn animation looks cool. I'm curious to see how the verdict and stats are going to play out since I have no clue how powerful either of them are. And this is the kind of out-of-the-box match I wanted to see since Smokey vs McGruff. We don't get matches like this very often anymore, but Taka being cast, likely as Deadpool, has me very worried. Matt Hullum is going to be there, likely as Sarge, and the episode seems like it'll have a big focus on Boomstick's dad, so please actually shoot me. I'm going to wait and see how this plays out. I genuinely have no clue what I want from this episode other than for it to be good. I want to go in and be pleasantly surprised. Here's hoping that happens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my long-winded ramble about Goku Black vs Reverse Flash. I enjoyed this episode a lot, and I hope this season continues this trend of quality with Macho Man vs Kool Aid Man, Madara vs Aizen, and the finale. The others I'm not too bothered about though, can't go in expecting everything to be a masterpiece. Go check out Nim's video and now enjoy the highlight reel which I actually got to be a part of this time. I'm very.
Oh, what? They added a sound.
They added a sound effect. Holy
Wait,
shit!
did they?
Yes.
What sound effect?
Boomstick
Well,
breaking.
exactly what you expected.
I did not expect that.
Let's kill Goku real quick.
Oh, scaling before they've even brought up the main character's name.
No, it's like Steven, but you know, it's not Steven.
It's like Steven, but infinitely worse.
Way more awkward than Steven.
If you want to be Cartoon Fight Club, just say check out the previous episode for the scaling.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yay.
No.
Wait, he has the one rig?
Oh. That's amazing.
That was a good one.
The what ring?
Ring allowed Black to travel through time. And even escape into
This is gonna be a hard episode to get through, right?
I mean, we got past the Karen joke.
Oh, yeah,
Me too, Boomstick. Me too.
I agree.
Hey, Ribbit.
Hi, Ribbit.
You just finished
Like 5
Goku Black's analysis.
Oh, good. I got to miss some of it. All right, good.
You missed the part you were super invested in. I know.
I am sick of that.
Yeah.
No more Flash Gordon jokes. No.
Barry Senpai.
Oh my god, what the fuck is with your eyes?
I'm going to deteriorate.
I realize now that I can make Boomstick say Mr. Gold Senpai.
No, you're not going to do that.
I recommend doing the exact opposite.
That is the purest look of sadness I've ever seen.
Every single face that they've shown during this analysis so far has been fucking stupid.
Could Eobard defeat that Star Wars guy from the
Ah, damn, they did add another explosion effect.
Barry Allen. Barry Allen. Barry Allen.
Why is he? No.
Why is he what? No. Continue, Biff. What is he doing?
Why?
Continue. Say the joke for your audience. Go ahead.
It's not a joke. A genuine. Why was he doing that?
Is there going to be a normal face in this analysis?
No.
Talk about the UK, that woman. She said the UK. Wow.
Ew, Britain. Oh, he is.
Jesus Christ.
He can steal your time.
This episode has been painful to get through.
Of all the episodes for me to come back.
Yeah, this is why you didn't go to work today. You're like, oh my god, I gotta get this time.
Oh my god,
episode.
you can steal time. You can steal time.
I hate both of you so much. Jeff, please say something to save the day.
Something.
I love how many dumb grins he's doing in this episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll fucking adopt you, Barry. I'll fucking adopt you.
No,
Don't you say it.
I thought it said Quackins. Oh my god.
Oh, hi, Chef.
Hi, Chell. You showed
Hey,
up
Chell.
just for the fight.
Hey, Chell.
Oh, well, I'm on my phone, so I don't know if I can watch it at all. Taking care of cat.
New stuff, new stuff.
Mira, troublemaker. Ouchie.
Let's go! I like how fast this animation feels.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my. We're going to roll.
Jesus!
Oh.
Okay.
Go off, Goku Black. He's coming.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, fuck. That's not gonna be that simple.
Oh, he's chuffed.
Oh!
I love this.
Oh, we're getting the clones, and they've even got the different coloured hair. Let's go. Oh, are we getting it?
They're just killing each other over and
Oh my
over.
This is such a good episode.
The Star Wars. Ooh.
Oh, I like.
That's some very nice hand-drawn stuff.
Oh no.
Oh,
Jesus Christ! Oh my god!
oh my god!
Whoa!
That was... that
You just got some fucking supernova!
That was like... Oh my
Did you ever
god!
see a supernova?
Wait, that kill... That was the best kill this season, easily.
Yeah, not even
Oh my god!
Oh my god! I like how this conclusion is just us continuously repeating, oh my god, that was insane, because there's, like, that's all we can really say.
Yo! He's a fire Slim Jim!
Ah.
What?
Wait,
What the fuck?